NFL Week 11. We are halfway through November. Absolutely crazy that we're here. You know what? Bit of a rough week last week, to be quite honest. I think a lot of people lost a lot of money last week.
It was a week for unders across the board, man.
Yeah.
Like if you played the under in the entire NFL, you won a lot of money.
And most people don't. Most people like the overs, including us. Who overs are more fun, and I think a lot of money was lost last week. All that means is we're due for a bounce back. So I'm excited for that this weekend.
Yeah.
I'll be
I'm
in
guessing
Colorado.
we have 0 unders we're playing this week. So
that's not college football. I got unders. NFL, I have no unders happening.
Yep, same.
So, well, with that being said, let's just jump right in. We got some juicy game picks and a few player props today. Let's go through the game picks first. Mike, what you got for us?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the New York Jets -4. They're at home against the Colts. Get it at -112. I hate taking this pick because I hate cheering for Aaron Rodgers. It's just not a good thing you want to do as a human. But I have a hard time seeing how this doesn't hit, especially with the Colts here. They're going back to Anthony Richardson.
He's so bad.
He's so bad. And after making a big, stink about, we're going to Joe Flacco because he gives us the best chance to make the playoffs. Like, does this mean you're giving up on the playoffs? Like, is the team just giving up at this point? Like, what's going on? Indy, they're averaging less than 20 points a game with Anthony at quarterback. And I just don't see them being able to put up more than that against the Jets, whose defense is actually pretty solid. Yep. The Jets did get embarrassed last week by the Cardinals, so I just kind of expect them to bounce back here against a really bad team. The Colts are just atrocious against the run. So I like Breece Hall here to actually carry the team and just get the ball rolling for a change, which he hasn't really had the opportunity to really do this season because they've played a lot of really good run defenses. So I think this is the week he gets going. If you've got him in fantasy, be excited. But yeah, give me Jets -4.
Love it. I love it just from the sake that Anthony Richardson's so bad. You probably get a couple defensive touchdowns out of this from the Jets, or at least one defensive score. That might be a nice little sprinkle. I don't know what that's at, but a Jets defensive touchdown is on the table this week. All right, I'm going to take us over to our two teams. I'm taking the Broncos to win against the Falcons straight up on the money line. I'm starting to believe this Broncos team's a playoff team, even though they lost 2 in a row. They essentially went into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs last week. Yep. I know they didn't actually, but I'm choosing to live in that delusion. But for all intents and purposes, it feels like they beat the Chiefs last week. This feels like a playoff team. In order to do that, you got to beat the Falcons at home. Falcons have been up and down. We've been waiting for them to turn it on and to be the team we wanted preseason, but I just don't think it's happened. So I think it's a tough spot for the Falcons. Good Broncos defense at home. That's a tough spot for the Falcons. So I'm just gonna take the Broncos to win. I think they're 2.5 point favorites, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the money line win here.
Yeah, I like it. I think this game is a pick 'em, and you take the home field advantage. Yeah, I think if this was in Atlanta, I'd be right on the other side with the Falcons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I got nothing
Probably
else
two
there.
equal teams, like two borderline playoff teams playing each other. It's kind of a fun dynamic. I think those dynamics could be a lot more fun. Obviously, maybe not as fun as the Chiefs and Bills, which is my other pick, which is kind of more of like who's going to get the 1 seed, contender matchup that most people will be watching.
Yep.
But I'll take that as my second pick. Give me the Bills to win against the Chiefs. I'm a Chiefs hater, but I just think Josh Allen's record against the Chiefs in the regular season is really hard to argue against. If this were a playoff game, I'm done betting on the Bills against the Chiefs in the playoffs ever again. I've learned my lesson now multiple years in a row. But in the regular season, it's pretty hard to say that the Bills aren't the better team here, especially at home in Buffalo. Give me the Bills. That crowd's going to be hyped. Chiefs have been flirting with losses all year. I don't think this is an undefeated Chiefs team this season, and this feels like a place that they would lose a game. So,
yeah, I like it. My only concern here is the Chiefs are getting Isaiah Pacheco back, but also who knows how healthy he actually is. The Bills, they've been this game is on their calendar every year, and this is, even though they keep winning, probably the worst Chiefs team we've had in a while. So I'm going to tell you on this one.
which I love. Going back though to you had a pretty awesome frat boy parlay. We called it last week, and we're bringing that segment back this week. So why don't you take us to that pick? Because I agree with one of your legs here.
As shitty as last week was, this was the one game that I actually had hit last week.
The 4-legger.
Man, yeah. So give me Packers money line at the Bears, Texans money line. Texans money line at the Cowboys, and give me Falcons plus 7.5 at Denver. Chicago right now. Hey, look who joined.
What's up? Don't let me interrupt. Keep going.
You're just in time to hear about the next frat boy parlay.
Oh, perfect.
So Chicago, man, Packers on the money line. Chicago's been a shit show. Eberflus, I think he's a terrible coach. Caleb Williams looks lost in translation. He had like those 2 games in the middle of the season where everybody was like, oh man, is this it? Is this Caleb Williams time? And then he just completely shit the bed. He's getting questions now about, does his offensive line trust him? Like, he's just not leading the team. So I just think that continues here against the Packers, who have actually looked pretty good. I mean, they've been up and down as a whole, but they're still averaging almost 26 a game. And there's no way Chicago's going to score that much. Their passing defense is awesome, but their rushing defense is terrible. So I think Josh Jacobs carries the Packers to the win here with ease. Texans on the money line at the Cowboys. Cowboys, we all know how much of a shit show they've been with Dak, and now they have Cooper Rush, and that was just a joke last week. Joe Mixon, we've talked about him every freaking week, so we'll stop there. But now they also get Nico Collins back, which Stroud's going to look better, and it's going to open up the run for Joe Mixon even more.
Yeah, speaking of Falcon, that, as the guy who put Nico Collins right in his fantasy lineup because he's going to play, and then literally like an hour before the game, like screw that guy. Like whoever was the person that made that announcement, I hate them.
Yep, I did the same thing and ended up having to play like a deep third stringer on Monday night and got 0.5 points. It was awesome.
Ridiculous. Anyway.
But yeah, for the third leg, we're going to take Broncos or the Falcons plus 7.5 at the Broncos. The Falcons, they've had two score wins this season. Outside of that, every single game that they have played this season has been a 1-score game. So I don't necessarily think they win this game, but I do like them to keep it close and at least cover a touchdown. So, with that, Frat Boy Parlay, you can get it at +1. I think it's plus 151. Packers money line, Texans money line, Falcons plus 7.5.
Love it. Stefan, I already took the Broncos to win straight up. Broncos money line minus 135. You heard Mike's pick. Your pick for today is also on that game. So why don't you tell us about your Falcons Broncos pick? That you'll be at that game.
Yes, I will be. And I want to take the over in this game. It's going to be a beautiful day in Denver. Weather will not be a problem. We've seen that Bo Nix has been progressing extremely well. And I know last week against that Chiefs defense, they weren't able to put up a ton of points. But this Atlanta defense is not really going to be able to stop him completely. And while I think Atlanta has had some confusing results at times, I think their offense will be able to get it together. I think
that's a nice word for Mike this season about his Falcons.
I every one of my football teams.
I think both teams can score 20 points, and so 24-21, something like that, I think is probably what we see. And so getting over that 44, just to me, this total is just too low. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. We've got a bunch of electric, game-breaking, talented players for the Falcons, and then you've got the Broncos, who just Cortland Sutton looks like he might be relevant again. He's been playing well. Vele got his first touchdown. Troy Franklin's probably going to get his. No, he probably won't. But
no, he won't.
Just give me the over.
I think you're the only one on the Troy Franklin hype train in Denver right now, but it's okay. We still like him because he's a Bronco. So
yeah, next year. I'm on the over. That's my 2 cents for the week.
Love it. All right. We have just a couple more game picks here for you. I'm going to go right into my parlay. We're going to go with NFC North away team parlay for me. So you're going to take the Packers on the money line. So you'll take the Packers to. I almost said that they're going to beat the Seahawks, but that is not the case. They are playing the Chicago Bears this week, so we're gonna take the Packers against the Bears. I think they're 5-point favorites right now. And you're going to pair that with the Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings, to beat the Titans, who are 6-point favorites. But we're just going to take them both on the money line to get a nice little -101. So even money for the NFC North road teams this week to beat two very bad teams. I think the Bears are falling apart. I don't think the Titans are very good. Packers need to keep up and track with the Lions. And then the Vikings need to also keep up there. So I like both those teams to win. That's all I got.
I like it.
All right, Mike, what's your final game pick? You have a pick also in the NFC North.
Yeah, give me the Lions -3.5 in the first half against the Jaguars. I don't have a ton to say here. The Lions have looked fantastic. The Jags have looked very not, especially last week. The Lions, they're averaging almost 20 points per first half. They are leading the NFL in that regard. Meanwhile, Jacksonville's giving up 14 and only scored 9. So I just think you have a really bad offense with the Jags against a really good defense, and the exact same story flipped around. So to cover 3.5 points here, this feels kind of silly that it's really an option. I kind of expected this to be closer to 6.5.
Agreed.
But yeah, at -3.5, I'm all over it.
Yeah, my ladder to that. The Lions could put points. Maybe because the Lions did have a down week this last week. I find my commentary on the Lions, then we'll move on to player props, is look, they didn't look amazing last week, but they pulled out a win. If you put the Chiefs, like literally the Chiefs did the exact same thing. Didn't look great. Pulled out a win, and like all of national media is like slobbing the knob of the Chiefs about like, oh, best teams ever, just figure out ways to win. But when it's the Lions, it's like, oh, it was a down week, and like, are they really as good as we thought? It's like they did the same thing. Thing. So I just, anyways, my Chiefs hate is running strong after that ending. Let's move on to player props so I don't get any more frustrated. All right, Mike, you have 3 player props here. I'll kick off with mine though and get mine out of the way, which is Puka Nacua over 69.5 receiving yards against the Patriots. I actually forgot.
Go Chargers.
On the last, yes, the Chargers. I need to reference it back because I think it's on the slide. You'll see it here on the summary, but I do have the Rams -5 over the Patriots in this game on the road. I think the Rams are rolling, and I do believe this is a team that continues to bounce back and make a playoff push. I'll take Nacua over 69.5 for one reason though, because Christian Gonzalez, our boy from Oregon and Colorado, will be tailing Cooper Kupp on one side of the field. They'll be moving Puka Nacua all over the field here. I think he'll have a big game against Patriots because outside of Christian Gonzalez, the Patriots don't have a whole lot. So give me Nacua here over 69.5 receiving yards.
Just better hope he can contain himself from throwing some punches, man.
I trust him. This is my guy. This is my guy right here. I remember Stef getting me on the Nacua hype train 2 seasons ago, so I'm excited.
Dude, I loved him in DFS in college, man. He was just so much fun.
Yep, he was just consistent. Mike, we're going back to Joe Mixon. This is just a rinse and repeat pick at this point.
It is, man, and he finally missed last week. It was the first game all season, but now he gets to play the Cowboys, and you can't not take this against the Cowboys. They are a complete shit show. We've already talked about that. They're giving up 152 rushing yards a game, and they've averaged giving up 170 in the last 3. Now you've got Cooper Rush, and they're not going to be able to hold on to the football. They're just going to keep giving the ball straight back to Houston. So I'm fine if you want to ladder this to 100. Like, have fun with it. Just throw a sprinkle on it and hit it, man. So, yeah, we're going to start there. I'm also going to go George Pickens over 66.5 yards here. We've picked on the Ravens from a receiving and a passing standpoint all year.
Their deep passing defense is so bad.
It's atrocious. And so I'm just going to keep tailing it. And now Pickens with Russell at quarterback, He's hit this number every single game. So now you continue to hit this against the even worse defense. Like, it feels easy. He's finally like a true ace of a receiver now. With Russell, he's averaging 7 targets per game and almost 20 yards per target. So he only had to catch the ball 3.5 times to hit this number. Like, that feels crazy easy to me. So yeah, Pickens over 66.5 there. And I'm going to wrap it up. Give me a Amon-Ra St. Brown anytime touchdown at plus 100. It's another trend that has been successfully hitting all year, is taking passing and receiving against the Jags.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just a really good passing D here. And St. Brown has hit this, or passing team here. St. Brown's hit this in 7 straight. So give me an 8th straight. The fact that he's hit it 7 straight and he's playing this bad of a defense, he can get it at plus money. That's when I also want to jump all over as well. So St. Brown touchdown.
That is great. All right, we are going to wrap this up. You made it to the end. This is the part where we summarize the show. Before we do, most importantly, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go follow, like, all the things on YouTube. It's the most fun way to follow us. You get to see our wonderful faces. If you don't like the way we look, go subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts. Also, Instagram, X, all the other socials. Thanks for listening. Let's dive straight into this. Mike, why don't you run down your NFL game picks?
Yeah, give me Colts at the Jets. Jets -4. Give me my lovely frat boy parlay with Packers money line, Texas money line, and Falcons plus 7.5. And then give me Lions -3 and the -3.5 in the first half against the Jaguars.
Nice. I'll take the Broncos to win on the money line. Give me the Bills to beat the Chiefs on the money line. I'll take the Rams -5 at the Patriots. And then I got a nice little NFC North parlay with the Packers on the money line plus the Vikings on the money line to get you to even money. Stefan, give us your pick.
Give me the over 44 in the Falcons-Broncos game.
Love it. Mike, player props, go.
I'm going to take Joe Mixon once again over 86.5 rushing yards. George Pickens over 66.5 receiving yards. And Amon-Ra St. Brown anytime touchdown at plus 100.
Mikey, I checked. You can get Mixon at 100 at plus 130 is where that's at. So not great juice, but kind of proves that you just want to hit this 86. It just shows that it's probably going to happen.
Yes, 100%.
Exactly. My one pick player prop is Puka Nacua over 69.5 receiving yards. That's it. We will talk to y'all later. Go check out the College Football Show.
Bye.